Day 5, Karthik and Paul are making up after the day before. They're kind of doing this like it's like a halfway makeup thing. They're fine for now, but you can tell they haven't totally squashed everything that was said the day before. So then we see Sarah, and she's talking to everybody in the living room, and she's just talking about her career and like when she knew that she had made it. She said that she knew that she was at the top of her game when she performed at the Brit Awards, and then again when she met the Queen, and also when she opened for Jay-Z and Coldplay at Wembley Stadium. So then we get to the task of the day, and it's catch a falling star. The housemates that aren't safe from eviction, the riffraff housemates, all have an opportunity to catch a star. If they catch the star, they get the prize that's written on the star. However, not all the prizes are good prizes. Some of the prizes are shitty prizes, basically. So the first person to have their star fall is Amelia. She catches it. She wins a romantic dinner for 2. Gee, I wonder who that could be with. She wins a romantic dinner for 2 as long as the other person catches his or her star. The next person to have their star fall is Brandy. She gets membership, so Brandy is now safe from eviction for the week. The next person to have their star fall is Karthik. He catches it. There was nothing on his star, so he gets nothing, which is kind of a good thing, but it's more of a bad thing because, that means you're not safe from eviction. Gemma, her star falls next, and it's a booby prize. She catches it. It's a booby prize. She has to color in like hundreds of pieces of popcorn with a little marker. Sean, he's the next person to have his star fall. He catches it. He gets membership. So now Sean is safe, as well as Brandy. So right after Sean caught his star, Paul made a comment like, "Oh, Sean, we can never like have you staying with the riffraff housemates," or something like that. And Jordan heard him and was like,
"We could never let you be riffraff."
Thank you, mate.
So did you say we could? What? Oh, I just heard we could.
Oh my God, you've decided all of this.
You've decided.
I cannot believe it.
You've decided this.
He's decided what's in there. Another way, he got nothing.
You just said
that
we
means
could
it's your
never.
decision.
No, I didn't.
basically Paul got caught. So the next person to have their star fall is Trisha. It falls. Trisha did not catch her star, but it was a good thing though because it was a booby trap. She would have had to dress up like a spaceman and hula hoop. The next person to have their star fall is Chad. He kind of catches it, but he kind of doesn't. He kind of cheats, but whatever. He catches it. And he was the other recipient of the romantic dinner with Amelia. So him and Amelia have to go on a date later. Then Sam catches his star. He also gets membership. Jordan's star falls at the same time that Sam's does. Jordan catches it, and his star has a booby prize on it. He has to dress up like a fisherman and walk around with this big ass smelling stinky ass fish all day. Then Sarah's star falls. She doesn't catch it. It hits the ground. But it's okay though because it was a booby prize. It didn't contain anything, so even if she would have caught it, nothing would have happened anyway. Sandy catches her star, and it's also a booby prize, and she wins a signed photo of Paul Danan, probably the worst prize of them all. After the task, we see Trisha. She goes in the diary room. She's talking about how she's hungry and people are taking it too seriously. Everyone in there is fake. She doesn't have a connection with anyone. She's hungry. She just wants to eat. So then Big Brother calls everybody who is still up. Everyone who is still has a possibility of being up for eviction. Big Brother calls all of them into the diary room and gives them an opportunity to save themselves. Basically all week they have been on basic rations. They haven't had any good food. So Big Brother says, "Here, I'm going to give you this pizza. If you eat this pizza, you will be up for eviction this week. However, if you resist temptation, if you do not eat this pizza, you will be safe from eviction this week." I think that's how it went. Something like that. So, all the housemates are saying, "No, there's no way I'm going to eat this pizza. I don't want to be up for eviction. I'm not going to eat this pizza." So nobody's eating this pizza until they get to Trisha. And she was literally just in the diary room talking about how hungry she was. Trisha takes the pizza. She's like, "I will 100% take this pizza. This is the easiest decision of my life." She then says that sex will give you STDs. Friendships are fake. Relationships will cheat on you. Family will disown you. But pizza is forever. So then there's this moment where Karthik is like being a fucking slave to all these people still. He's still serving everyone drinks. I don't know why they keep showing only Karthik as the one serving drinks and serving food and kissing everyone's ass when it's like other housemates have to do it too. But they only keep showing Karthik doing it. Anyway, Karthik is like pouring a drink for the people at the table or some shit. And then Brandy is like, ladies first. You know, like that little saying, ladies first. And Karthik's like, I don't believe in ladies first. He's like, I don't believe in that shit. And there's kind of like an argument. And then Karthik leaves the room. And Paul's sitting at the table too. And he's like, then Paul says, you know, with Karthik, it's a different mentality. He's from a different country. He's only been here a couple of years. He speaks a different language even. And I'm like, that's racist. That's not fucking true. That's not right. First of all, he's from India. In India, English is like one of the official languages of fucking India. That English is the main language of India. Like, you don't say that he speaks a different language. Why? Because he has a fucking accent? Why? Because he's brown? You're fucking racist. You don't even know your shit. He speaks a different language. No, they speak fucking English in India as a first language, you piece of fucking shit. And it's just again, Paul's racism coming out. Paul is saying these things as if it were just like everyday talk. And that's what a racist person is. A racist person most of the time don't even know that they're fucking racist until they get in a situation where they have to, you know, they're like, oh shit, there's someone else in here who's different from me. And my point is, Paul doesn't even realize the shit that he's saying is so deeply embedded within him, that his racism is so deeply within him. He's just saying things and he doesn't even realize that it sounds racist as fuck. He's from a different country. Paul said he's from a different country, aka he's not from our white Anglo-Saxon country. He's not from England. He's not from our country. He's only been here a couple of years. You know, he's from India. He's not English. He's only been here for a couple of years. He speaks a different language. No, he doesn't. He speaks perfect, fluent fucking English, like just as well, probably better English than you fucking speak. You know what I mean? Like, so then Chad and Amelia go on their little date. Does Amelia ever let her fucking hair down? That bitch always has her hair up in a top knot, top bun, whatever you want to call it. Like, always. I would just, for once, would like to see her hair down, you know. Then we see Gemma get her big ass vat of popcorn that she has to color in. It's like this huge thing of popcorn. She's never gonna finish that shit. We see Jordan get called into the storeroom to put on his fisherman costume, and he gets the big ass fish. And Sarah's like, "Can we cook that bitch? Can we cook this fish, please?" Because they're all starving because they've been on basic rations all week. She's like, "Can we cook that salmon, please?" Then there's another scene of Paul. He's being so fucking extra with his ice cubes. Can I have 7 ice cubes, please, and a Diet Coke, please? Why do you need 7 fucking ice cubes? If I were Karthik, I'd be making all his drinks and I'd be spitting and pissing or some shit and putting little pubes in every single one of Paul's drinks. Every single fucking one. You want 7 ice cubes? Okay, 7 ice cubes with a side of spit. 7 ice cubes with, a teaspoon of piss. 7 ice cubes with a few of my dick pubes in there. Yeah, sure, you can have it. Here you go. Paul keeps trying to ask for food too, and apparently, according to Karthik, the rules state that he doesn't have to serve him food, only drinks. So he kind of delegates that task to Sarah. He kind of makes Sarah give Paul food because Karthik's like, I'm not going to give you food. The rules say I only have to give you drinks. So I'm only going to give you drinks. Sarah, I guess if you want to give him food, you can give him food, but I'm not giving him food. And Paul is just fucking trying to wind up Karthik. He's sitting over there stirring his drink, sipping his drink, and he's like, Karthik, it seems like you really don't want to be doing this. It seems like you don't really want to be making me drinks. Like, if you don't want to make me drinks, then just don't make me drinks. And it's like, Karthik has to make you fucking drinks. It's part of the rules because he listens to Big Brother. Big Brother said you have to make him fucking drinks, so he's gonna make you drinks. Like, stop trying to fucking wind him up. So then a little bit later, we see Sarah. She's a hot mess. She's fucking drunk out of her ass, splashing around in the hot tub. Then she runs inside and like starts trying to bite off Amelia's vagina or something. Sarah seems like she's fun when she's drunk, but I don't know her history. Like, is that a thing in the British tabloid? Does she have a drinking problem? Is she an alcoholic? Day 6, we see Brandy in the diary room, and she's kind of insinuating that Marissa is showmancing Jordan, that Marissa's whole showmance thing with Jordan is fake, and that it's all part of a game plan. I haven't really talked about it much because I'm keeping this shit romance free, showmance free. But yeah, as we've seen on the episodes, if we're watching if you're watching the episodes, you know that Marissa and Jordan have like a showmance thing going on. It's not as cringy as Amelia and Chad's or Amelia and Sam's showmance, but still there's some soft showmance going on between Marissa and Jordan, and Brandy is kind of insinuating that Marissa's playing Jordan. Marissa's playing a game. So then we see Gemma and Paul Danan, and they're talking shit about Sarah. I guess about her drinking the night before or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know how Gemma and Paul have room to fucking talk. I may be wrong. I don't know them at all. I don't know what kind of celebrity they are, but they look like they are two of the most biggest fucking drunk alcoholic, recovering addict ass housemates in there. So I don't know how they can have room to talk about anyone the fuck else. I mean, Gemma, look at your fucking self. Look at you, bitch. How can you have room to talk about anyone? Go look in the mirror, bitch. So then we get to the task of the day, and it's the final task of the private VIP save yourself from being evicted shit. And what they have to do is they have to shred 3 people's photos, and whoever's photos they don't shred, I think, are safe from eviction. I think. I don't really know. So then the first picture they discuss is Karthik. Everyone is just talking shit about Karthik. Sean said, except Sean. Sean was trying to defend Karthik, and he was saying how he would like to see other housemates go before Karthik, especially the ones that just lay out and tan all day, throwing shade to Jerissa, Jordan, Marissa, Clarissa, Amelia, all the ones that like to go out and fucking tan all day. He's saying that I would like to see those housemates get evicted before Karthik, but that's just my opinion. Meanwhile, everyone else is slagging Karthik off. They're all talking shit about Karthik. Sam says that he wants Karthik gone because he's just a bit of a dick. Sam, actually, you're the biggest dick in there, Actually, you're the smallest fucking dick in there. So then Brandy says about Karthik that he's disrespectful to women. Fair enough. I can see where she was getting that from. Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough. Derek says that even though he's my bedmate, he's been irritating him. And Paul said that he didn't like how he pulled the race card. Paul says that Karthik pulled the race card when Karthik was feeling that Paul was saying racist comments towards him. Apparently that's pulling the race card. If you feel like you're being attacked for your race, you can't say anything about it because that's pulling the race card, and you're not allowed to do that because that makes white people feel uncomfortable. The next picture of the housemate they hold up is Sarah. And then this is kind of when I noticed that Paul was controlling that whole situation with the photo shredding. They kind of were just all following whatever Paul was saying. If Paul said he didn't like someone, they were all just like, yeah, I don't like them either for this and this and that reason. But if Paul said that he liked someone, they were all like, yeah, I like them too for this and this and this and that reason. So it was kind of the Paul fucking show. They were all talking shit about Sarah, how they're saying that they don't know if she's stable enough to be in the Big Brother house. I guess I'm missing something. I guess Sarah is like a fucking drug fiend or an alcoholic to the max or something, because the way they talk about Sarah, oh my God, I guess this girl has been drinking ever since she came out of the womb. She does 100 lines every day, shoots up every day, heroin, meth, whatever the fuck else drugs there are. I don't know. So the next person's photo that they hold up is Chad, and they're just talking about how all he does all day is lift weights and hang out with Trisha, and that's not going to get him very far in the competition. They also don't know if Chad has true feelings for Amelia or not, but that's like, why is that any of your fucking business in the first place? Like, if he likes Amelia or not, what does that have to do with him being evicted? That has nothing to do with you. If he wants to fake fucking like Amelia, then let him fake fucking like Amelia. So after this, we see Sarah. She runs into the diary room and she's crying. She's upset because of all the shit that Paul has been saying about her. And so then we see Sarah come out of the diary room and she rejoins the housemates on the couch. Then Gemma starts having a fucking go. Gemma is just itching for a fight. Gemma has just been talking shit on the side, trying to get into an argument. Gemma is looking for a fucking fight. So then we see Paul and Karthik chatting again on the couch, trying to talk about everything that's been happening about this racist shit that Paul was saying the day before. I'm not going to keep calling it the race card because that makes it seem like insignificant, and that sounds whiny on Karthik's part. And when the whole time Karthik's feelings were legitimately, he felt like he was genuinely being attacked because of his race. That's not pulling the race card. That's Karthik calling a spade a fucking spade. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to call it the race card. I'm going to call it Paul saying racist shit about Karthik, because that's what the fuck it was. It wasn't him pulling the race card. Anyway, they're talking about this again. And then Paul makes this stupid fucking comment. Like, did you get racism when you were younger or something? What? What? Did you get racism or something when you were younger? What kind of fucking question? Of course he did. Look at him. How can you ask any fucking minority, did you get racism or something when you were younger? No shit. Yeah, yes, I'm sure he did get fucking racism when he was younger. Paul is like so racist and he doesn't even fucking realize it. You have to understand, a racist person doesn't walk around with a fucking t-shirt on that says, hey, my name is Paul and I'm racist. Or like a tattoo on his forehead that says, hey, I'm a racist person. A racist person fucking hides in the shadows and doesn't fucking want to be called a racist ever, even though that's what the fuck they are. They will never, ever in their life say the words, I'm racist. They never will, even though they could be the most blatantly racist person in the world. No one wants to be a racist. No one wants to be called a racist. You know what I mean? So Paul is just trying to fucking make excuses for himself, and it's not working for him. He's just coming across more and more and more fucking racist. So then after their conversation, Karthik, I don't fucking know why, but he goes outside. I guess it was, I'm not at this level of maturity yet, but I guess Karthik is. He comes outside and he's like, he basically starts apologizing to Paul. And he's like, can I make you a cup of tea, Paul? To Paul. And I'm like, what the fuck? That is some Gandhi shit that I'm not there yet. I'm not on that level yet. Maybe one day I can be on Karthik's level, but I'm just not. If someone's talking shit about me, like I said, I'll make you a cup of tea, but I'm going to spit in it. I'm going to piss in it. You can have it, though. So then Paul eventually, finally, 600 million days later after the fucking initial situation, Paul gets called into the diary room to get talked about his racist comments. Finally. This should have happened 2 days before, because them waiting 2 days, Big Brother waiting 2 or 3 days to talk to Paul about his racist comments, that just made it seem like Paul was in the right. You know what I mean? Because he hadn't been reprimanded yet. No one had talked to Paul and said, Paul, you can't be making comments like that. So 2 days went by, and meanwhile, Paul is building this fucking confidence and like, hey, I'm not racist. Look, I can say whatever I want and no one's going to call me out. They waited too fucking long. If they should have squashed that shit 2 days ago, none of this would have been happening still. But they waited 48 hours, and now Paul thinks that everything he said was right. It was, Big Brother is to blame. Big Brother is partly to blame. Not totally to blame. I mean, it's still Paul's fault, but Big Brother should have stepped in days ago. You know what I'm saying? So then Paul, I'm so sick of fucking saying Paul's name. Paul, Sam, Jordan, and Gemma are all in the Blossom bedroom. And they're all lying in the same bed. I don't know how they all fit 4 people in the same bed, but all 4 of them are all in the same bed, and they're all talking shit about Sarah. Why is it that every time we see Paul, he's just talking shit about someone? Every fucking time we see Paul, he's talking shit about someone. Like, what the fuck? Then Paul gets up. He goes into the other bedroom where they were talking shit about Paul. Then they all shut up when Paul enters the room. Everyone gets quiet, right? So then Paul is like, why is it that when I walk into the room, all y'all get quiet? If you got something to say to me, say it to my face. That's how I roll. I would say it to your face. That's really funny, because literally 12 seconds ago, you were just talking shit about Sarah, not to her face, in the other bedroom with 3 other dudes and Gemma. And you look like a little fucking bitch for doing that. So how are you going to say that you want people to talk shit to your face, but you can't talk shit to anyone else's fucking face? Like, fuck you, Paul Danan. Fuck Paul Danan. Day 7, Paul is in the bedroom talking to the boys about, the argument, whatever, that he just got in with Sarah the night before. And he's totally flipping the story around and trying to make it seem like he's the victim, and that Sarah was cussing him out and all this stuff. And it's like, first of all, Sarah did not ever swear at you one time. Paul is retelling the story like, Sarah said, you ain't a fucking mate of mine. Go to a fucking meeting. You're a fucking psycho. Everyone fucking hates you. That's not even how Sarah was saying it. Sarah did not swear one time, but Paul is telling the story, adding all these swear words and all these expletives. Paul, you are not the fucking victim. Nobody fucking feels sorry for a fucking racist. So then we see Chad working out. I guess they gave him some exercise equipment because he's doing some fucking arm band shit things. Oh, so then we see Karthik and Marissa talking in the kitchen. And Marissa, who kind of looks like Rosie Perez a little bit in this one angle, she's trying to give Karthik some advice. Like, listen, everyone in this house is not your fucking friend. Even if they say they're your friends, they're not your fucking friends. Do not overstep your boundaries to create a friendship that is not there in the first place. If you have to stick up for yourself in a different manner, do it. These people will respect you more. Sometimes you have to flex to gain some respect. And I was like, that's true shit. Do not go in what I think she was trying to refer to Karthik, like, do not go kissing Paul's ass and trying to make him tea and all this shit after he's just been a fucking asshole and been racist towards you. So then we see Paul and Trisha, and Paul is like talking about how this one time he was in Compton and he got carjacked and he got mugged, and it was some lie he was telling to Trisha to sound cool or something about how he went to Compton and was hanging out with all these thugs or something in Compton. And I'm like, shut up. You're fucking lying. Whatever. Oh my God. There's so much Paul. Everything is fucking Paul. So then we see Paul again talking to Sarah. Paul looks like a fat Justin Timberlake. And he's talking about how Sarah shouldn't be drinking in the house, and that like if she gets the urge to drink, to just not drink. And again, am I missing something? Is Sarah a raging fucking alcoholic? That's basically the rest of the episode, the rest of the day until we get to the eviction. Emma gets on the speakers and she's like, the people have been voting to save, I think, and the housemates with the most votes to save in no particular order, even though I think this was in order. I think this was the exact order. Trisha, Chad, and Sarah. I think that was the order. And then it gets down between either Karthik or Marissa. One of them is going to go home. Who's it going to be? Karthik or Marissa? Marissa or Karthik? I think everyone thought it was going to be Karthik. And I was glad to see that it was not Karthik. Marissa, bye-bye. You are evicted. Showmance 1 over. She was all right, but she was sucking on Jordan's dick too much. It was kind of annoying. I'm glad to see her leave. And I'm happy even more to see Karthik stay, especially after all the shit that he has been through. Karthik would have left this week after being treated the way he was treated by Paul. I would have been very upset. I'm happy Karthik survives to see another week. Do I want Karthik to win? Do I want Karthik to like go all the way to the final? Not necessarily, but I am happy to see like a little bit of, it feels like justice was served a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I liked it because it was a straight eviction. There were no fucking twists. There were no turns. There weren't like a secret, okay, Marissa, you're actually going into the back alley of Silicon Valley. You're not really going to be evicted. You're just going to go in this room over here, and we're going to bring in a new housemate. And then the remaining housemates have to choose the next people to be up for the next week eviction and all this shit. It was just straightforward. Marissa, you're evicted. Next week, someone else is going to be evicted. It was very straightforward. I like that. Last night's episode, day 8, we see Karthik outside. Again, he's talking to Paul, and Paul is like talking to Karthik like, he's like, so when you get evicted tonight, I mean, when whoever gets evicted tonight, blah, 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 blah. So then Karthik goes into the diary room and he's talking shit about Paul, rightfully so. And he's talking about how Paul plays mind games and how mind games to Paul are like meant to be together, just like how shit is on a stink or something like that. And he's like, wherever there's a shit, there's a stink, and he's doing some stinky shit in the house right now. And then he's like, sorry, big brother, for the crappy situation. Ha 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 ha. I just want to make love and not war. And I was like, oh, that's nice. So then we get to the fucking task of the day, and it's Derek, and he has to do a ghost tour of the bedrooms. And didn't I say in the VT? I said in the VT. I can already see the task they're going to give him. I can already see the secret task. Sean, go to all the housemates and convince them that you just saw a ghost in the kitchen. So Derek has to give 2 tours, one in each bedroom, the Blossom bedroom and the Forest bedroom, to see like if there's any paranormal activity happening in the house or something. Rolling my eyes throughout the whole thing. So the first group goes, so they're all in there, you know, Derek's doing his thing. He's like summoning the demons or whatever the fuck he does, doing an exorcism, whatever. They're all standing in a circle. He's like doing his spells or whatever. I don't know what the fuck. Apparently there's a ghost in Blossom bedroom whose name is Malcolm. And, it's just so dumb. I don't even know. I really don't even know what to say. Malcolm, he's like haunting the house, and Chad is like, he better not touch my protein. So then he goes into the other bedroom and he does the same thing. He summons a ghost or whatever called Margaret. Margaret, it turns out, is the name of Gemma's grandmom. So I guess Gemma's grandma is like in the house as a spirit, helping Gemma. I don't fucking know. Then he's like, so then he starts talking about Malcolm again, who is the ghost from next door in the other bedroom. And he's like, Malcolm has just come over into this bedroom. So for some reason, he makes Jordan strip down to his underwear. I don't know why. He makes Jordan strip down to his underwear, and he's trying to get the ghost Malcolm to like possess Jordan or something. I don't fucking know. It was so weird. So after that whole shit is done, Paul and Jordan, and I think Derek is out there too, and they're all talking about Trish. They're basically trying to figure out her demographic for the eviction tonight. They're talking about how, most of her fans, she said that most of her subscribers or whatever, her viewers, are aged 10 to 18. I'm like, that's really fucking young. She said that most of her people are 10 to 18, and most of them are British girls, so they don't know if they're going to be able to vote or something. And then Paul's like, yeah, she has a big following online, but in the mainstream media, she's shit or whatever. And he's like, I sign autographs for a living, blah blah blah, just talking shit about Trisha. I'm like, oh my god, shut up. And it's interesting to see in the house this kind of battle between old media, which is like, TV, movies, stuff like that, and new media, which is the internet. It's interesting to see these two types of celebrities live together. And I hope in future Celebrity Big Brothers, they keep bringing YouTube personalities or even Twitter personalities, or, people who are known on the internet and not people who are just only known for being on reality TV shows. You know what I mean? So then we get to the eviction. We know what happens. Marissa gets evicted. Despite her cheers, she got a lot of cheers. She still got evicted. Karthik was certain he was going, or was it part of is it part of his act to look like the underdog? You know what I'm saying? Or was he genuinely surprised? Because he was acting surprised, but acting surprised. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just goes to show, it's crazy how one little comment, the whole reason Marissa was even up for eviction was because she made the comment on launch night to Sean about how, you better not get in my space. It was a total joke. And it's just funny how that one little comment got her up for eviction, and eventually she got evicted because of it. Well, not because of that, but she got evicted. It's interesting to see how one little comment can get you fucking evicted. Meanwhile, Paul is being fucking racist as fuck, and Paul probably is going to sail all the way to the final. It's nighttime. It's after the eviction. Everyone's trying to drink. Everyone's trying to be a little bit loose. Paul isn't drinking. He's like talking, and he's like, oh, I wish I could have a drink right now, blah, blah, blah. I guess Paul's an alcoholic. I had no idea. We had kind of seen hints at that in previous episodes, but it's like confirmed Paul is an alcoholic or a recovering alcoholic, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, will he remain sober in the house? I don't know. I think he will. I think people are going to be looking out for him, making sure he doesn't drink. But he was like really eyeballing those drinks tonight. So I think that'll be fucked up if Big Brother like puts him in a situation where he feels like he has to drink. That's fucked up. I don't like Paul at all, but alcoholics, they don't want to drink. Recovering alcoholics, when they go through their shit, they're really not trying to drink. And so I think it'll be fucked up if Big Brother kind of pushes that more than what they need to. But it would be good TV, wouldn't it? It would be good fucking TV. So then we see a couple of the girls, and they're all in they're all in Chad's bedroom, comforting Chad, because Chad is like amazed that he survived, but he's also feeling a little bit down because he was getting a lot of boos. When Emma was saying his name, he got a lot of boos, and they're all just trying to comfort him. And in the live stream from this eviction, we saw that I think it was all of the girls, except for like Sandy and Helen, but like all of the girls were comforting Chad. They were all in his bed, like all hugging him, like all at the same time. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Because at the beginning, I keep fucking saying Paul. At the beginning, Chad was coming across like a super douchebag. Like he was going to be like kind of maybe even a villain towards women and stuff like that. But it's interesting to see how now, only a week later, the women they're not all over Chad, but they've really turned a cheek, if you will, towards Chad. You know what I mean? They're all he's kind of like the teddy bear of the house, if you will. I think even someone said that in the live stream. I'm not sure, but I think someone said, oh, you're like the big teddy bear of the house. And It's just funny how a week ago they were all saying how Chad was like this douchebag and how he's like a pervert and all this stuff. And now they're all in bed with him, comforting him, hugging him, you know, trying to make him feel better because he is kind of like a big teddy bear, you know. If he doesn't have any big blow-ups, Chad could definitely go to the final. I really think he could. Okay, so then we're about to get on this argument between Sarah and Gemma Lucy. Basically, you know, Sarah, she goes outside and she starts talking to Jordan about how compared to Chad, Jordan and Sam have all this energy and they're bouncing off the walls all the time. And Chad and Trisha and Sarah are in their 30s and they're not like that. They're not full of energy all the time. They're a little bit more chill, a little bit more mellow. And so Jordan took this like in a bad way. He took this as an insult. Gemma Lucy comes out and Sarah goes inside. And then Jordan starts gossiping to Gemma about what Sarah was just saying about them having high energy all the time and stuff. And so Gemma, I guess, feels some type of way about this for some reason. I don't know why. Like I said earlier, Gemma has just been looking for a fucking fight ever since the Karthik situation. Ever since Karthik called Paul Danan racist, Gemma was popping off at the mouth. Then she was already looking for a fight. Anyway, Jordan tells Gemma what Sarah was saying. And then Sarah comes back outside and Jordan is kind of just like, Sarah, can you like explain what you were talking about earlier when you said that like we have a lot of energy or blah, 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 blah. Can you explain what you meant? So then Sarah starts to like explain herself. She starts explaining what she meant. You know, we're in our 30s and you guys are in your 20s and you're fucking acting, you know, immature. And so that's not what she said, but she's politely saying that. So then Gemma starts to get fucking involved and she starts trying to have a go at Sarah. Then Sarah and Gemma start fucking arguing. Gemma's like, well, I'm only defending Jordan because he's my friend. I've known him for 3 years, blah, 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 blah. That's funny because earlier in the day, you were straight talking shit about him. You were talking shit about Jordan and Sam to Brandy when y'all were in the makeup parlor doing your makeup earlier in the day, talking about how they're immature. So now all of a sudden you wanted to stick up for Jordan because y'all have been friends for 3 years. What about earlier? You weren't friends with him 3 years ago earlier in the day. So what the fuck is up now? Gemma and Sarah start arguing with each other. Then Jordan storms off because no one is listening to him. It's not even about Jordan anymore. It's about Sarah and Gemma. Jordan storms off. He's like, no one's listening to me. Fuck this. Fuck you guys. Blah, 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 blah. So then Sarah and Gemma, they're still fighting. They're still arguing, yelling at each other. And then Sarah goes, why are you getting in our conversation anyway? Like, why are you diving in like a little cunt? And then Gemma goes, oh, now the pretty girl is coming out with naughty words. I thought you were a sweet girl. And then Sarah's like, I am a sweet girl when I'm not around bitchy people like you. You're a two-faced little bitch. And then Gemma goes, you little fucking slag. And then Sarah goes, look at yourself, mate. I don't shag on TV for a living. And then Gemma goes, well, we know what you do after TV, and that's a shitload of drugs. I was like, oh, burn. They both were fucking going in. Anyway, in this argument, I'm on Sarah's side, obviously. Gemma has just been fucking looking for a reason to argue with someone. She has just been itching and looking for a reason. Gemma has made it very clear in the past that Gemma's career, she said it before, she said that her career is right now her career is Celebrity Big Brother. So what that means to me is that she is kind of looking for a fight. She is trying to be, you know, that bitch in the house who's gonna be the one to be argumentative and to be explosive. She said it. She said that's her career right now is Celebrity Big Brother. So that's kind of how I interpreted that. So the end of the episode is Sarah once again. Poor girl. I feel bad for Sarah. I normally don't feel bad for crying housemates that often, but I feel bad for Sarah. I really do, because people are just really making her trying to seem like this drugged up girl, and that's gotta suck. You know what I mean? Especially if you have battled with addiction before and people keep throwing that in your fucking face and you're trying to like make a new name for yourself and you're trying to, you know, grow your career, and people just keep throwing this drug thing in your face, or this alcoholic thing in your face. That's gotta suck. You know what I mean? So I do see where she's coming from. Hopefully Gemma gets evicted. Hopefully Paul gets evicted, but that's probably not going to happen because they're good TV and their ratings and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, basically that's it. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you want, you can leave a comment. Tell me whose side you're on. Are you on Sarah's side or are you on Gemma Lucy's side, the devil's side? No judgment though, whatever you choose. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching and bye.